If we are, measuring our happiness on success, if we are not successful, that means we are not happy. And if you are extremely successful, we are very happy. There are times when we are successful, but we are not happy. We have a lot of emptiness within ourselves, as you asked. There is a lot of shallowness. So what's happening? The way we are measuring our happiness, our joyfulness, our excitement, that's the wrong way to measure. Again, it will lead to your saturation point, burnout. All those issues will be faced by an individual.
Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Fashion Tales. I am Paras Chabra, the host for the show. In this podcast, I interview some of the most successful people in diverse fields who can share their story and help you to discover and pursue your passion and purpose. If you are looking for the answers to the questions like how to find my passion, how to have a fulfilling career, or how do I follow the path of my passion, then this is definitely going to help you. Today, I am interviewing someone who is helping a lot of people in stress management and dealing with their mental issues. Her name is Bhoomeeka Jain. She's a therapist and a psychologist. The major thing I wanted to discuss with her was how someone should take care of their mental health while being so much involved in their own ambitions. Let's dive into the conversation. I want to understand firstly what areas are covered in mental health.
Hmm.
Like I think sometimes this is very confusing. Like, is the mindset there are a lot of people involved in developing of mindset. What part of it is covered in mental health and what is just general self improvement?
Okay. So these are three different things. So when we talk about the areas that's covered in mental health, it is anxiety, it is depression, then anger management, self confidence, self care, goal setting, bullying, relationship concerns, family problems. These are the areas that's mostly covered, and obviously then there is psychological issues that a person goes through. Then there is academic concerns. If we talk about children, learning
Hmm.
disabilities, this is one set of areas. Then you have addiction problems, and there are times
Okay.
when you have pure mental illnesses that I just spoke about, such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or some personality issues, bipolar personality like. And if we go about very basic issues, there can also be things such as people having difficulty in sticking to the task, not able to complete their task on time, procrastination, and then teenage counseling behavioral issues.
Okay.
So these are the main areas that's covered in mental health. And when you're talking about mindset, I would say
Hmm.
there are two types of mindset that's particularly, when we talk about mindset, it's there in psychology, which is growth mindset and fixed mindset.
Hmm.
So when we talk about growth, I know it might sound little technical, but these two mindsets, these are the main two mindsets how people process and they function.
Okay.
So growth mindset would be when people believe in their abilities and talents, and they believe that their abilities, talents can be developed over a period of time through
Hmm.
experiences and I would say mentorship or guidance. So that's growth mindset because people think that they can develop holistically.
Okay.
And when we talk about fixed mindset, that kind of mindset when people think that their basic qualities, such as again, intelligence, their abilities, talents, traits, they are fixed. They can only grasp, they can only understand to a certain level. That's
Okay.
what the fixed mindset is about. Yeah.
Okay. So, I'll mix the two questions up. First of all, do you think that having a fixed mindset is can be considered as a mental illness, or you talked about that things like self confidence are covered in
Hmm.
mental health also. So, what kind of self confidence issues are covered? Like, I'm sure a person is not confident about his exams. That wouldn't be considered as him being mentally not healthy. So
Hmm.
what level of it is considered that in the mental health?
Okay. All right. So when we talk about, as I mentioned, these are certain issues. So there is something known as self-esteem. Then
Hmm.
there is self-regard. There are times when a lot of us don't feel confident in a particular situation. For example, I might not feel confident in audio, but I might feel confident in video setup, and the
Hmm.
other way around.
Hmm.
For children, also very confident in performing arts, not confident while giving exams, as you gave the example. So, but when your confident levels start, hampering your day-to-day functioning, you start questioning yourself. Am I meant for
Okay.
this? Am I doing the right thing? I'm not too sure. I'm not feeling confident, even for, say, stepping out with your friends. Very basic things. That is something that is a
Okay.
comfortable zone, and that is something you wouldn't think twice, or every day going to office. But again, hampering your day-to-day functioning, that is the time the problem starts, and that is the time one should seek for professional help.
Okay. If we talk about from the person's point of view, like you just told me, some might genuinely feel like they should reach out for help, or some might be there for
Hmm.
getting attention. So, if I might have to self introspect from a person point of view, when do you think a person should
Hmm.
go out and reach a counselor?
Okay. As I mentioned at the start, when you question about confidence, so when a person starts affecting, when the issue starts affecting day-to-day functioning of a person, that
Hmm.
is one of the points that I would say that it is the time, to seek out professional help. Then the person might feel that, I have been feeling very lonely. And I, for example, let me take my example. If I feel that I have been feeling very lonely,
Hmm.
or I feel whenever I go and speak out to someone, no one understands me. And it wasn't these points that I'm telling you right now. I did not have such feelings before, right?
Hmm.
So whenever I talk to my friend, I am thinking, I no one understands me. Then sudden change in the behavioral patterns. For a while, see if it's happening for say 3 4 days, it's fine. But it happens for a longer period of time. Longer period of time, I would mean say 2 to 3 weeks,
Okay.
until and unless something traumatic has experienced in your life. That's a different thing. For example, death of a loved one, or something that you couldn't, take it in a positive manner. Then that is sometime we can still give, that this is the reason, so we think about it. But if nothing major has happened, then also if you feel that you are struggling to maintain your day to day relationships,
Okay.
or you're not enjoying or not having the interest in the things that you used to do before.
Okay.
So, and also having a lot of negative thinking all of a sudden, not as a trait. There are people who always tend to think negative, but I
Hmm.
would say here, if I'm a person who never used to feel that kind of negativity, but all of a sudden I'm feeling very anxious, having a lot of negative thoughts, overthinking, not able to, as I mentioned before, maintaining relationships, and uh, struggling to do my day-to-day activities as well. For example, going to office, taking a shower, so
Okay.
basics things in life. So that is the time a person should seek out for professional help.
Okay. Okay. That makes
Yes.
sense. So, like we were just talking about some social media and these web series. So they have some of the, in context of mental health, they have these common terms like mommy issues and daddy issues, right?
Hmm.
They use these kinds of terms very casually. So first of all, can you explain it for a person in layman's term, like what are these mommy issues and daddy issues, and how does
Right.
these affect a person?
So when we talk about daddy issues or mommy issues, what happens is a person is said to have daddy issues when they have unhealthy or absent relationship with their father, and the similar thing goes to the mother as well. So that
Okay.
is the time an individual might have daddy issues or mom issues. But again, being a psychologist, this is not a medical term, this is not an official term or a recognized disorder that has been given by DSM.
Okay.
DSM is a manual that we religiously, all the psychologists, it's like a Bible. All the
Okay.
disorders, everything, all the information is mentioned in DSM. So this term has not been recognized. This is again a slang term that has been used by the people,
Okay.
right? And how impactful it can be in a person's life when we address someone as daddy issues or mommy issues. What happens is, in daddy issues, it is said that because has been an absent of a fatherly figure in the younger childhood days, people, women tend to date men with an older age.
Oh,
And
okay.
why does that happen? Because they have trust issues, and the other way around as well. I'm talking about both the concepts.
Okay.
Then there is a constant need for validation.
Okay.
Constant need for validation is there. Then there is jealousy, fear of abandonment, poor communication, unequal power balances, and negative self-esteem.
Okay.
So this is how impactful it can be.
Okay. Like, okay, one is you told about that absence of a parental figure can cause this in their childhood.
Yes,
But and the second reason was the unhealthy relationship, right? So,
unhealthy relationship.
how would you describe this unhealthy relationship?
In very simple terms, when I'm going to my father once he's back from office or he is at home, and I'm going and I'm showing him, see how this is the marks I grade, and like, chalo faltu cheeze mat karo, go back to your room, don't talk to me. Very
Okay.
simple, nothing major. But still, when I needed attention, I wasn't getting attention. When I needed love and affection, I wasn't getting love and affection. But it's not once, it happens at constant levels. It happens throughout the day, all the time. That's how my whole childhood has been like that. Or I would say the major issues a lot of Indian population has to go through, which is abusive family members.
Okay.
That's one of the issues. Then not respecting women at a younger age, and faced any sexual abuse when they were young by their
Okay.
own parents. So that is the time when there is absent of fatherly figure.
Okay, so I think that's totally different from what I had in my head, because I think a lot of people just have a, I won't say unhealthy relationship, but like I'm sure when especially when people are growing up, they have some the relationship takes a turn with their parents.
What did you have it in your mind
Like
that
I
what
think
is daddy issue?
like I think simple just conflicts of opinions and all, having simple arguments. So I thought these were also the kind of things that led to daddy issues and mommy issues.
That's also one of the things. That's also one of the factor that might play a role. But it's just not one thing that people form certain issues. It's a combination and of lot of factors together that leads to one problem at a later stage.
Okay. I'm sure that our relationship with our parents also affects us as the people we grow up to be, right? The kind
Right.
of our parents play a major role in our shaping our ourselves also as a person. So how do you
Hmm.
think we when now maybe after adulthood we are a little aware of it, right? How do you think we can
Hmm.
take care of that relationship moving forward in our life? Like how should we have a healthy relationship with our parents, given that we know that after we grow up we kind of we have different opinions because we are from a different
Hmm.
generation, right? So how do we still
Okay.
maintain that
So
intimacy with our parents growing up?
okay. So you are saying that because of the generation gap, it can bridge a lot of conflicts with our parents.
Yeah.
So in this scenario, I would say that I also read it somewhere that if you want to do something in life, if you want to achieve a certain goal, there are times that your parents will be there for you. But as individuals, as young adults, if you go and seek help in terms of their opinions, obviously they are not that aware as to what is going in terms of career. I'm one aspect I'm talking about career, because
Mhm.
that is the time where the conflicts starts to begin,
Yeah.
right? So if you go and ask your parents about it, that what's your opinion, they would definitely go with a safer option, because they want their children to be safe. They don't want their children to have risk taking life. They don't want the children to face struggles if they have faced struggles in their young adults, in their early age group. For
Mm.
example, if your father was struggling to make a simple earning, say for just three times a meal, and if your father feels that you are getting into a career where even you might face certain issues, So he would tell you not to experiment this, rather go to a 9 to 5 job where you know that you will be getting your bread and butter every day and your earning will be fixed. At least you'll be getting certain amount every month in your account. So in that kind of scenario, what I would suggest is that it's always good to have opinion from your parents, but one individual shouldn't feel guilty if you are not if you are not listening to your parents at that point of time,
Okay.
because you know what's best for you. Your parents might not understand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, so there can be a mixture of both, taking your parents' point of view, their opinion, because their experience will come into knowledge, and experience will be there, and your expertise of your own subject matter.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. How can we take our self-esteem in our own hands? Like these likes and peer pressure comments from our peers. I think this takes a lot of part in our building up of our self-esteem, especially in the childhood, like
Hmm.
how our parents treated us. But now that we are adults, right? Uh, I think we can't focus on what had happened much because that was
Right.
not in our hands. But how can now we as adults who are self-aware can take this self-esteem into our own hands?
One thing wouldn't be possible to administer self-esteem on themselves, but that's the only option that I have, and I can do it on myself and on my clients, but not everyone can do it.
Okay.
So that's so there is another thing, which is using self affirmations.
Okay.
Trust me, it always works like magic. Saying the affirmations to yourself, writing the affirmations to yourself, taking a diary and writing. For example, okay, I would take your example. What would your one weakness be like?
My one weakness, let's say, would be getting into cravings, eating a lot of bad stuff, which is not good for me.
Okay, so eating a lot of junk.
Yeah.
Okay, so that comes to your, again, eating. I would one answer I want with respect to your personality or behavior.
Yeah, maybe I think this used to be happen a lot with me in my college. I used to get sometimes intimidated by females.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. That's a good one. So if, for example, if this is the weakness or that's still there within you, and second, you mentioned that eating a lot of junk food.
Yeah.
So what we can do is, instead of focusing on our weakness, we need to first, there needs to be acceptance of our weakness. That
Okay.
you know that these are the areas of improvement that I have for myself, and what can be done here is making a note of it in a positive manner. For example, eating a lot of junk food, you have craving. So what you will write every day in the morning: I will eat healthy and nutritious food.
Okay.
Secondly, I am smart and confident about myself.
Okay.
I wouldn't say here I will not be intimidated by girls.
Okay.
इसमें क्या हो रहा है, when we are using this as affirmation, this is using no words is not recommended.
Okay.
Not words or no words. So I would change it, because what the main issue is that maybe you're not feeling confident enough to face girls.
Okay.
So that's how you will frame it. I am smart and confident about myself. That's it.
So
No ifs, no buts, no negative sentences.
okay. So like how long would you recommend this to do affirmations to other people? And also like don't you think it felt weird sometimes when they started it? They must have felt weird about it, like while they were starting it. So how can you explain, give tips on that
Yes.
to audience? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Affirmations. So see, affirmations, even I started for myself. I have been doing it currently because I have noticed that I have not been able to keep a track of the task. And there are times when I procrastinate,
Okay.
which is okay. I'm not cribbing about it. Oh my God, why am I procrastinating? And why is this happening to me? Why only me? Most of us do that. We get
Yeah.
into that vicious circle of negative self talk. And then there is no solution for it. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm a human. I'm not a machine. If I'm doing it, it's fine. I mean, I'm allowed to do it. Right? But so first thing is, anyone for that matter, whenever there is any kind of issues within oneself, which is known as intrapersonal issues, when you have problems or issues within oneself, so you need to have recognition for that. You don't have, a person shouldn't criticize, shouldn't
Okay.
get into the negative self talk. So first step is avoid that talk and recognize the emotion or the problems that you're going through, appreciate it. क्योंकि
Okay.
जहां से appreciation start होता है, from right there your 80% work is done.
Okay.
Because
Like
when I'm saying
like
it's
you
okay
mean
if I
you
procrastinate,
you should appreciate your like weakness. You
yes,
mean? Okay.
you should appreciate your weakness, because once you say it loud, that's okay. So what is happening? Your content with oneself is in a much, for I'll explain in simpler terms. For example, as I mentioned before, self criticism will not be there.
Okay.
We are very fast in criticizing ourselves as
Okay.
compared to others. अगर कोई चलते चलते, if someone has fallen down, you will be like, अच्छा पैर मुड़ गया होगा. Correct? That's why
Mm.
the person has fallen down. And if I am walking and if I'm falling down, I'm like, oh my god, my heels, it's all because of my heels. You know, the way I will say it to myself, and I will really show concern for others, but it comes to myself, I will not show concern for myself. So
Yeah.
that's what I am talking about. I think a lot of us can relate to this.
Mm.
So that's why we need to appreciate in terms of just recognition of our problems, and then try to note down not the problems but what you want to get change into.
Okay.
And then for how long? A habit takes 21 days to create. So I would say, without taking any break, at least 21 days. And when we write it every day, when we are saying it loud,
Mm.
I am smart and confident, I am happy, I am going to do this, I am relaxed, like that, for example.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to say this and writing it down, initially a person can say write it down for 3 times in a day and then
Okay.
reduce. Because once we do it, you will start feeling a change within ourselves. So positive affirmations are highly recommended for increasing self esteem.
Okay. Okay.
This is the simplest way of increasing one's self esteem, simplest and easiest, and way where you can see the results like as immediately as compared to other methods.
Okay. I think this is going to be a great help for the listeners. So, how much role does the lifestyle things like food and fitness play in the mental health?
Lifestyle plays a big role in our mental health,
Hmm.
because food has a different psychology behind it. For example, if you are not eating right, your emotions will not be in the right place.
Yeah.
For example, this is an experiment that I can tell everyone to do it on themselves.
Hmm.
3 days, eat out, eat the junk food. If you drink alcohol, or if you have street food, try all the possible measures, all the possible types of foods, and see the behavior you will feel. Because what's going to happen, firstly, it's going to start with your behavior and then it's going to go to your mind.
Yeah.
For example, I might start feeling lazy because I've had so much of starch as in so much of carbohydrates or so
Hmm.
much of potatoes. So I am feeling very lazy. And when I'm feeling lazy, I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. And
Yeah.
then I go in a different zone altogether. And that's how even my productivity is questioned.
Hmm.
And when I'm productivity is questioned, oh my God, I did not do this, then the negative self talk starts again. So that's like a cycle. So if food is not balanced, or
Hmm.
secondly, when we talk about kids or even for elderly, I mean the young adults, what happens is having a lot of sugar increases our hyperactivity.
Yeah.
For example, eating desserts all the time, eating chocolates all the time. So it's good to a certain level.
Hmm.
But if you're expected to sit and do your work, you will not be able to concentrate,
Yes.
because concentration levels is has a lot of impact. I mean, the food has a lot of impact on our concentration levels also.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah. And exercise is very important, because exercise is like a stress buster. Dancing is a stress buster. Playing with a pet is a stress buster. So these are all the stress busters. And eating your favorite meal is also a stress buster. But not having lot of your favorite meals together.
Okay. So basically, doing it in limits, everything.
doing it in limits.
Yeah.
Yes, very true.
Okay. My next question is that we often hear a lot of these stories about people chasing success. They are running after money or things like that, and usually it is mentioned that they become hollow from inside. And there are a lot of stories of people I have heard that after achieving something they realize that it wasn't
Hmm.
that much important, and they feel like they have wasted their time. And the term
Hmm.
specifically uses that they become emotionally washed out or emotionally exhausted, right? So how
Hmm.
would you describe that situation? What exactly uh, can you explain it in simple terms for people to visualize it better? Like, what is that situation?
So what happens is, when we talk about success, when we talk about ambition, and if there are times when we can feel emotionally exhausted or drained out.
Hmm.
Uh, Two reasons. Firstly, uh, happiness doesn't come because of career success.
Hmm.
Most of the people, they think that if I'm successful in my career, it will lead to me being happy. No. If you are happy, if I am happy within myself, then the later stage would be being successful in career.
Yeah.
Because what's happening, if we link from a scientific point of view, happiness is level A,
Okay.
and being successful is level B.
Okay.
So if level A is rising, that means level A, it is at 100. If we see a bar graph sort of a thing,
Hmm.
ठीक है, level A क्या है? It is going up to 100. That's my happiness, which has no levels, which is infinity. Okay, so if
Okay.
I'm successful, automatically, because my happiness is at infinity level, I am going to be happy. If I get more successful, I am going to be more happy. I will never be emotionally drained out or exhausted, etc. Because my career is based on happiness. My happiness is not based on my career success.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, you mean that after happiness comes, success comes, not it shouldn't be the other way around. Is that what you're saying?
First happiness comes, then the success comes.
Yeah. So basically, you should be happy first, then the success would automatically come.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if we are, measuring our happiness on success, if we are not successful, that means we are not happy. And if you are extremely successful, we are very happy. There are times when we are successful, but we are not happy. We have a lot of emptiness within ourselves, as you asked. There is a
Hmm.
lot of shallowness.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So what's happening? The way we are measuring our happiness, our joyfulness, our excitement, that's the wrong way to measure.
Hmm.
Again, it will lead to your saturation point, burnout. All those issues will be faced by an individual.
So, we are talking about this, and this seems very easy and simple, and the most sane way to make choices. But still, why do you think
Hmm.
that people make choices such that they end up into a shallow life, or they chase a shallow ambition? Like, what do you think is the reason?
I would say it's all about perception.
Hmm.
Because if people, I'll explain a very nice concept over here.
Hmm.
I don't know if you have heard it before. It's something known as Maslow's need of hierarchy.
Definitely not heard of it.
Okay, great. Then I can explain. I have a lot of time. So what happens is Maslow's need of hierarchy. So what you're talking about, success and all this chasing, it's basically a needs and wants and nothing else.
Hmm.
In simple terms, ये मेरी चाहत है, ये मेरी ज़रूरत है. It is need and it is a want.
Hmm.
Suppose I'm drinking water, I need to drink water. What would I say? That I am feeling thirsty, I need to drink water.
Yes.
But if I'm thirsty, other statement would be I want one cold drink. I don't need a cold drink, I want one cold drink. But I don't want a water, I need water.
Yes.
So this is very simple terms, needs and wants.
Hmm.
If what happens is when people are not happy or people feel exhausted,
Hmm.
because and they feel shallow, it's because they are measuring, as I mentioned before, happiness is being measured on a different level. And
Okay.
secondly, being greedy, इसका कोई इलाज नहीं है,
Okay.
right? If one thing is over, you want the next one. If I have an example, if I have a house, then I will want a penthouse. If I have a penthouse, then I will want Ambani ka house. If I have Ambani house, then I will want I don't know what,
Okay.
right? So this is the wants which is never ends.
Okay.
So if we function more on the basis of need levels,
Hmm.
then there will be less of shallowness, and there will be increased amount of happiness, and we'll be in a position to judge what we really want and what we actually need. And once the need is satisfied, one should be happy. ठीक है,
Okay.
need है, if there is a need, that need has to be fulfilled. But if it is a want, if one wants is not getting fulfilled, that individual needs to know that it's a want, and want comes with the hard work.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's what I would say.
Okay.
Explaining the model would be a different concept altogether. But I think what you asked, this can answer the question.
Okay. So basically, differentiating between the needs and wants is what you need to do, actually.
Yes.
So same for tips. Like one tip is definitely this, that we should be able to differentiate between our needs and want. What advice would you give to ambitious people in terms of taking care of their mental health, like so that they not get emotionally exhausted or mentally worn out?
Okay. So I would say always start your day with hot glass of water. That is my
Okay.
one. Yes. Without thinking anything, start with your day with a hot glass of water, because our stomach is our second brain. If our stomach
Okay.
is at place, if the stomach is happy, then our brain is also happy. I mean, I would say our mind. So,
Okay.
firstly, how we discussed earlier, how food plays a very important role.
Hmm.
Remember?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
starting our day with hot glass of water, it firstly makes our digestive system at peace.
Okay.
And secondly, once we are done with hot glass of water, secondly, no use of mobile. For all the, I'm saying for all the millennials out there, for all the elderly population, for all the younger ones who goes to schools, right? To everyone out there, that do not use the mobile once we wake up, and for you as well, how much of work you have, or anyone for that matter,
Okay.
start with hot glass of water. Secondly, as I mentioned about affirmation. So it's not necessary that once whenever we are feeling, we think we have low self-esteem, that is the only time you need to write affirmations. Affirmations work like magic in our lives. I would say you try it out tomorrow and you tell me your experience about it.
Okay.
So second thing would be starting with affirmations. Okay,
Hmm.
good. Whatever affirmations you want to start with. Thirdly, when we make long goals, that's good to make long goals. But a lot of time for a lot of us, what happens is we think a long goals na achieve nahi ho rahe. How much ever I try, I'm just not able to achieve that target. So
Hmm.
what even I do is personally, I make short goals every day. Short goals would be just my simple task. And I think you will
Okay.
laugh when I say that what my task I've written. One day I wrote to arrange my cupboard. Imagine. I mean, it's not something that will change my life if I don't make it. So it's not necessary that your goals has to be something that has to be line changing, because the more simpler and basic it is, the more content you
Okay.
will be with yourself. So obviously you need to make goals related to your work, whatever you want to achieve for the day, and your basic target as well. Thirdly, it looks a lot of things together, but trust me, on one page, all the three things together can come. Maintaining a gratitude journal. Gratitude journal would be very simple. I am very thankful for the lovely dinner
Okay.
I had today. Just
Hmm.
writing these 2 to 3 points, you will reach to a mindset where you have never felt before,
Okay.
that I did this today. I'm thankful for this. I am thankful for having so many number of employees. What's going to happen at that point of time? All your worries, all your tensions, you will forget, because if we are working in a large company and we are thinking this employee doesn't work at all, this is the problem. If someone is having a personal brand, I'm not able to achieve this. This is
Hmm.
also left, etc. But on the other hand, you will be like, okay, I had 200 connections yesterday on LinkedIn. Now today I have 220 connections, or my followers have
Hmm.
increased by 5 number. Imagine the small kind of happiness a
Hmm.
person will
Hmm.
be getting. So that's how important a gratitude journal is. And then, uh, firstly, laugh out loud. I would say go for a laughing exercise and stretch your body. When we say basic simple exercises, not very hardcore exercises, but we can go for the soft exercises as well, because it helps to actually
Okay.
open our horizons. It makes us want to be active. And because it's lockdown is going on still at many places, people are working from home. It doesn't mean you can just wake up, have a
Yeah.
coffee, and then start working. Please don't do that. You are not a machine. You are a human being. At least give 1 to 2 hours first thing in the morning to yourself and see the day. That's what I did today. I did not do anything yesterday, and I was just not keeping well, dozing off all the time. I did all the activities that I'm telling you right now. I went fully charged till 11 a.m. without taking a break throughout the day. Sorry, 11 p.m. Because there are times when I don't do it and I
Okay.
like to self experiment. So that's out of my personal experience and experimentation, I can give this kind of suggestion, and I know this will surely work. Then there's one more thing is do something that you like. For example, talking to a friend, very simple, 5 to 10 minutes of conversation. Take out time for the things that
Okay.
a person loves doing. Cooking, for some people, cooking is a therapy. For some people, taking your dog for a walk is a therapy. For some people, coloring, swimming, dancing. Even if I'm say 25, 30, 35,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean I can't color. I mean, drawing and coloring and paintings, it releases a lot of stress.
Okay.
So whatever you like. So yes, these are basic 4 to 5 things that if you do every day, and yes, mindfulness or meditation. I wouldn't say meditation if you're not able to do it. A simple basic thing would be just breathing exercises. You
Yeah.
must have heard the word alom vilom, breathe in, breathe out, etc. So this will just help you to calm, to make you calm. And no, I'm not saying devote 30 minutes of your time for breathing exercises. Even 5 minutes of breathing exercises, you are good to go
Okay.
and
Okay.
for the day.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we'll wrap this up. I think this is going to help a lot of people, and I'm also going to try some of these things, especially the warm water one and the affirmations and the gratitude journal. I'm definitely going to try it. So thanks a lot for your time, Bhumika. And do you want to talk of something about yourself, also like your journey, your Instagram page?
Oh, yes, definitely. I wouldn't leave a place where I cannot market myself. I will. Firstly, I would like to see as a person, I'm very frank and I am very transparent, right? So, firstly, I would like to thank you for giving me this platform of where I can express myself and where I'm getting a chance to talk about mental health. And I think you are doing a great job by interacting with people, interacting with the experts, and you
Yeah.
yourself learning a lot. Thank you for this thing. And secondly, yes, my Instagram handle is at the Desi Therapist. And I believe that even if you don't have to wait for any mental health issue to come up to you, if you think that there is something uncertain, there is if you feel that you need to go and reach out, feel free to DM me. You feel free to DM Paras. I think Paras will definitely guide you to speak to the right person, and your queries will be answered. So that's what I can say. Secondly, whatever problems you come to me with is going to be extremely confidential. That's what I believe with, that it's going to be private and confidential, and you can definitely expect empathy.
I'm sure you are doing some great work. I'm also going to put down your links in the description so people can reach out to you.
Thank you so much. That would be great.
Thank you for listening to the episode, guys. Do check out Bhumika on Instagram. She posts some awesome content that might help you to take care of your mental health, and the links are in the description. Also, if you like the episode, do follow the podcast on whichever platform you're listening and do share it with your friends. Let's meet in the next episode.